You are now listening to The Purpose Pod, hosted by Alan Levi Simmons. This podcast is a platform to give listeners an inside perspective on purpose, business, and life experiences. If you're interested in finding purpose or discovering paths that could lead you into your purposeful life, this is the podcast for you. Thank you for tuning in. It's time for The Purpose Pod.
Yeah, the Purpose Pod, the Purpose Pod, the Purpose Pod. Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages across the world, across the galaxies. Good day, all my beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in to the Purpose Pod. I am your host, Alan Levi Simmons, and this is episode 51. You got that right. Episode 51. And on episode 51, thank God Almighty, I have the opportunity of honoring an awesome actress and producer. I'm going to interview her today. Her name is Maya Stojan. I'm going to bring her on right now. Let's bring on Maya Stojan. What's up, Maya?
Oh my gosh. First of all, your intro, so good. That little music at the beginning.
Yeah, you like it?
Okay. Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. I'm glad to have you here, and I'm glad you enjoyed the intro. I wanted to make sure it was right. I wanted to make sure it was right. So
it's legit.
Yeah. So Maya, I've been talking about you a lot lately. Like, everybody's been seeing all my posts. I probably post more about you than I have of my other guests, and I'm sorry to my other guests out there. I do care about y'all. I do. But Maya Stojan is on here. So let's get it. Yeah. So Maya, like, one cool thing I think is really cool, because I dropped out of my French class, but you speak French fluently, correct? Or you speak
Yes,
French?
that is my first language.
So I should say parlez-vous François? Or parlez-vous
Français? Oui, je
parle
parle
français.
Oui.
Right? Oui. Okay,
yes.
and then I say je m'appelle Alan, right?
Alan.
Alan.
Yeah,
Okay. See,
Alan.
I remember something. So my dad did not waste money on my class that I did not pass.
Good. As long as you learn something, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I learned bits and pieces of different languages. Like, I went to Japan and I learned some Japanese, right? And so I learned that by, like, audio. So I listened to some, and then I would read some books, and then I would go hang out at the club, obviously, and have a good conversation, like, oh, ohayo gozaimasu, and like, oh, hi. We over here. But so I guess you dabble in other languages as well, or is it do you just do English and French?
I would say French and English are the two languages that I speak fluently, and then I, people talk to me in Spanish all the time because they think I'm Hispanic, and I have zero Hispanic background, but I should probably learn it.
Yeah. I mean, you have a very interesting background, because you're not from, like, LA, you're not from South Carolina, you're from Switzerland.
Yes, that is correct.
Awesome.
I know.
Like, what's it like being from Switzerland? I'm pretty sure it's like, oh, what's it like being from South Carolina? It's the same thing.
No, I mean, it is. And maybe I'm biased, but I think it is one of the most beautiful countries out there. If you haven't been, it's just so, pristine, and you almost feel like you're in fairyland. It is stunning. It really is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've seen, like, the pictures, and it looks cold at times too.
Yeah. Oh, in winter it gets really cold, but actually summer is really beautiful. People think of Switzerland with the mountains and the snow, but actually, I love going there during the summer because there's a beautiful lake, and you get to swim in it, and it's just, the nature there is spectacular.
Yeah, that's I think I might need to take a trip out there during the summertime.
Yeah, definitely. No,
because you kind of fluctuate though. You could be in the winter, or you could be in those, like, hot places. You were just in Mexico, right? So, like,
true that. Yes.
Yeah.
I love to travel. I really do. I like to immerse myself in different cultures and in different, atmospheres. I love
Yeah.
adventure.
So does that help you out, you know, with your acting? Does that help when you
Oh,
play
sure.
different roles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think I've played so many different um, ethnicities and
Mm-hmm.
just 'cause I don't look white, I don't look anything really.
Right.
I'm sort of just that middle ground of we don't know where she's from, but we can put her here, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
so it is helpful for sure.
Yeah. That's good. And I'm sure that helps you, you know, you being bilingual helps you in other places as well. Have you done like movies or TV shows in French, like
You
speaking
know,
French?
I really haven't.
Mm.
I really haven't been able to use my French, but I have had to do many different accents. I will say that. And
Mm.
my mom's actually, she sounds like the Queen of England. I mean, she has a very proper
Oh.
British accent. So whenever I talk to
Yeah.
her on FaceTime, I go straight to British. Um, because obviously, my American accent is put on. I didn't
Yeah.
grow up with an American accent in Switzerland, but
Hmm.
you know, whenever I talk to her, I go full British. So it's
Right.
kind of weird. People around
Yeah.
are like, "Is she schizo? Like, what's happening?"
Is she okay?
Yeah.
Does, does it happen when you're like deep into a conversation, or is it just like when you talk to someone from back at home, or what's that like?
No, yeah, even from back home, I think when I speak to my sister, I go into a different voice, into sort of a French speaking kind of voice. And it happens automatically, almost instantly, as soon as I hear. And it's the same as I grew up with an Australian Manny, not
Mm.
a Manny, but a Manny. And
Yeah.
whenever I hear him, I'd go into Australian, you know,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I mold into whoever I'm
Like you
talking.
could fit whatever role, or not whatever role, but whoever you interact with, you could kind of like drift
Mimic,
into their
I think.
place, you know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool though. So that probably makes you a very versatile, you know, actress, and that's pretty good, because some people are just like, oh, they stay right here. You've been in some action, you've been in some drama. I think you've been in some thriller. Like, was it I think I seen something with like Frankenstein. Was that
That,
something?
well, that was an old
Yeah,
movie.
that was like a old.
10 years ago. Not old, but 10 years ago. Yeah, yeah. No, that was.
Yeah,
I think that was that was a horror film. But
yeah,
yeah. No, I've done a bit of everything. I've been
yeah.
lucky that way, where I feel very blessed that I've been able to sort of use a good range of all my different personalities.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I should be an actor probably. You know, my life is I'm a different person in different places. I could be that Marine guy, or I could just be that cool like moto guy. Hey, let's get
Mm.
motivated.
It's
You know, so,
helpful. Yeah. It's
yeah.
helpful in situations. It really is. You can have
Hmm.
dinner with the queen, or you can, you know, have a best friend that's on the streets, and you know, yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. So do you think that a lot of times for you, like when it came to I guess trying out for a role, do you think it was your personality that won a lot of times? Like what do you think it is for you? Like when you go in there and you try out for a role, what do you think it is for you that they're like, oh yeah, we gotta have her on there?
I think I can only speak for myself, and I don't
Hmm.
know what they think, but I know that whenever I come out of an audition and I'm like, yes, I got it,
Hmm.
for sure I did not get it. But if I go in there and I don't know, like my dress split, I have a hole in my dress, or
Right.
you know, I threw up the morning of because I'm sick,
Hmm.
you can be sure that the auditions that I feel like I failed,
Yeah.
and I think it's due to the fact of being so detached from it, because I'm like, there's no chance I'm booking
Mhm.
that. Those are
Wow.
the ones that I actually most often end
Yeah.
up booking, you know?
Mm. I like that. You know, and I think I can apply that to me in school right now. Like the test that I'm like, man, I passed that. You know, they send back like a 65, 70. It's like, wow, I thought I had a 98, you know?
Yeah.
So confidence is something that we need to monitor, you know,
Well,
monitor your confidence.
well, and I do think it helps. I mean, no matter what, you come in as yourself, and
Hmm.
you never want to be desperate for a job, right? Especially
Right.
in the acting world, you want to go into an audition being like, take it or leave it, because
Yeah.
people on the opposite side, they can smell desperation when someone's like, please hire me, please. And that's, you know, sort of like dating. If you
Yeah.
walked into a date and you were like, love me, love me, love me, that's like, whoa.
Yeah. That's
So
too
it's
much
the
right
same
now.
thing. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. And I like the way you just put that with dating. Like a lot of people can apply that to dating. Hey, if somebody came in your relationship was like, hey, let's get married right now. Some people probably would be like, okay.
Right. Absolutely. And
You
then,
never know.
but it, yeah, I think it's an energy that you have of just, you're good. You don't need anything to fulfill your life, and you're happy as you are. You're whole. And if it comes your way, if that job is right for you, then, great.
Yeah. That's a good way to think, Maya. And is that the way you operate inside of like Hollywood? Am I allowed to call it Hollywood, or do you
Oh,
call it Hollywood? I don't
yeah.
want to be the outside guy like Hollywood, and y'all don't ever say Hollywood.
No, I mean, industry, Hollywood.
Yeah, the industry.
Mhm.
Okay. But
Yeah,
yeah, so
I
go ahead.
think, you have to understand that what's meant for you is meant for you, and what's not meant for you was never meant for you.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, I could give you so many stories about that, of just how me not booking a job maybe allowed another girl to maybe meet her husband on set. Who knows, but it just, everyone, yeah, everyone is destined, I believe, to just exactly what they, are meant to do and meant to be. And yeah, so
Yeah.
if we could live, there'd be a lot less stress. And it's not always how I feel, obviously. I'm
Yeah.
like, why didn't I book this job?
I was gonna ask you. I was gonna say, so Maya, you've been practicing this for a while, then, like, so you could just kind of like get dismissed from a role and then say, oh, you know what, it's okay. That's somebody else's.
No, honestly, I I can mourn a job more than I can mourn a breakup. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just, it hurts.
Yeah.
And I don't care what people say. I mean, maybe some people are immune to it, but
Mhm.
we get rejected maybe 100 times a year. Do you know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah.
With all the auditions that we get and that we don't book.
Hmm.
And of course, some of them you forget and you're like, oh, I didn't want that anyway, or whatever.
Right.
But the jobs that you really want, and you get so close, and you're one of 3 or one of 5, and
Hmm.
you just, you all of a sudden you get the call and it's not you, sorry. And you're just like, oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's fine. You hang up the phone and you're like, oh,
Right. In the heart.
yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. And to be in this field of work and to deal with rejection, like, or the chance of being rejected, you're like you're signing up to be either rejected or accepted in your line of work. So that's tough.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the more you practice rejection, I think in life in general, the more you are willing to take risks in life. So many people are so afraid to be rejected that they maybe don't go at the table that, they find this guy or this girl cute, and they just wouldn't go by fear of being rejected. But the more you get out there, and I always respect actually whoever can walk to a girl or a guy and is like, hey, I saw you from over there. And like, people are now on their phones, and there's no putting yourself out there and taking that risk. And I think as actors, we get that all the time. And people are like, nope, not you. Nope, not you this time either. And so we're just like,
Yeah.
it kind of becomes less of a thing.
Yeah. So do you think that, like, did this ever affect you personally? Like the rejection, did you ever internalize it? Like them rejecting you? Have you ever been in a place where you're like, you look at
Sure,
yourself?
especially at the beginning of my career. My goodness. Yes. I mean, I've had roles where, it was me and another girl maybe, and it took me a month to get over just the fact that I didn't, because it could have been life-changing. And then I think to myself, like, oh, I guess I just wasn't good enough. I guess she was better, and I guess, she was prettier or whatever. But the truth is, it has nothing to do with anything. It's just like, oh, she's too tall for the lead guy, or she's, and not to say that, of course, sometimes it is talent based, but a lot of the time it is about what you look like, how you fit with the rest of the crew and the cast, and so it's more about that. And then all of a sudden once you get that, you're like, oh yeah, well, they wanted a blonde, blue-eyed, or whatever.
Yeah. So, and I feel like that's how I think about life in general. It's just like, if an opportunity doesn't come my way, I'm not going to get upset like, oh man, like these jobs I'm applying for. If they don't, one job just told me like, hey, yeah, if you didn't get an email, we didn't hire you. I was like, okay, cool. I just wanted to know, but so
and oftentimes you dodge a bullet. You don't know how, but like maybe that job would have, I don't know, just been the worst experience because someone on set is, this and that way. And you just don't know. You just have to trust.
Yeah. I like that. So we're speaking some good stuff right now. Early on, we jumped in there. So early on, we jumped in there. So since we're on this and we're going to get into gratitude, practicing gratitude, we're going to get into that. But I want to pick Maya's brain a little bit. I told her I was going to do this, so I'm allowed to do it.
I mean, I'm in it.
So like when you're in character, do you ever feel out of character? Like, like when you have to portray someone else, like how do you do it? Like you have to be you and then you have to be Courtney, like how do you do that?
Yeah, so it's interesting. My amazing acting coach, he has this great way of so I think I always, of course, am still bringing myself to the table and I do a lot of analysis on whatever I do. I'm sort of like, I dive right into the script. I, create a whole just life for whoever I'm portraying.
Wow.
And then right before I audition or I go on set and shoot, I don't think I can cuss on this podcast, but basically what I say is F off, Maya. Okay,
yeah.
Your work, now F off. So I'm not even there anymore. And I just channel through and, whatever comes out. And of course it's part of me, but it's more the F off of Maya, the critical brain that's going to be overlooking what I'm doing and versus being very present in the moment and just really listening. And that's what I want to do more of, I think, is in my work is just listen and be present,
Yeah. So you're really into this like mindfulness, gratitude. You're so like I'm pulling all the positive energy towards me. That's what you're doing, right?
Yeah. It's so funny because I think when I started this whole gratitude practice, I was so afraid to share it. Just because I knew how my friends were going to view it. My friends weren't yet, I should say, really into that world of mindfulness, gratitude, meditation, and all of that. And I knew that, they'd be like, oh, she's so like LA and she's so like,
she's so
like
LA.
Head in the clouds, like, oh, poor thing, like she's lost it. But, now having done it for so many years, I'm really proud of myself and my dedication towards it. And I can safely say that it works.
Yeah.
It's not something that's just based in, freaking whatever vibe and energy and mood. But it's really something that's based in science, honestly, like attracts like. And, when I dive into sort of the studies behind gratitude and how it helps the brain and your immunity and your breath, like all of that is fascinating. And I didn't even know that when I started practicing gratitude.
Wow. So gratitude practicing is more like taking care of yourself. It's self-care in a way,
Absolutely.
So could you walk us through how that setup is? Like, what's the setup like for practicing gratitude? If someone wants to like make gratitude a practice every day, like you do, how do we do that?
So I tell everyone to start with the book of The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. I have a copy over there, but I should have brought one here. But it's The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. And basically every day you start up every morning writing a list of 10 things of what you're grateful for. And then you go deeper into the why you're grateful for those things. And then while doing that for 28 days, then you have different practices to focus either on being grateful for your relationships, for your, money, career, health, basically anything under the sun, because you can be grateful for anything. And, it's truly magical. So it's a 28-day practice. And right now, if you want me to blow your mind, I'm on my 62nd round of The Magic. So obviously now it's become my own version of things. It's sort of molded into different practices, but you know, a day doesn't go by where I don't practice gratitude.
Yeah. So like, what if you're like in a funk? Like, what if your day is just like, not happening, and you wake up that morning, you have to practice this gratitude. So what do you do?
You know, the thing with practicing gratitude, it becomes rare for you to be in a funk. What happens though is you still feel emotions of sadness, of anger, of jealousy or envy. Like these things still happen. People are like, are you like a robot or something? Like you just, all you do is just like, I'm so grateful all the time. And it's like, no, that does not happen.
Yeah.
I'm very much human, and I'm, I feel things very deeply. But
Yeah.
what it does do is that you can feel your emotions, and that's important to do. You never want to cover things up. You always want to make sure you feel sadness and you feel anger, because those emotions are really important, guiding you towards the right path. But there's expiration with gratitude. Like once you've realized, okay, I've been angry enough, the situation sucks, and I really don't feel good, then what? After you felt that, you can look at, okay, but what has it taught me, right? What has the situation taught me? I'm trying to think of a sucky situation that's happened to me recently, but whatever, whatever it may be, just thinking, okay, well, I learned that through that, maybe I can work on myself and work on my patience, because clearly I still have more work to do with that. And, there's all these things that you can learn. And then from that, you can find also the good in, in that lesson. And so there's always just like, it's basically reframing the situation or the feeling and the emotion.
I like that. After I learned, about you doing this, me and my wife, we would wake up in the morning. And we tried, girl. We tried. Like, I swear, we was doing pretty good. I think we fell asleep, in the midst of meditating.
I get it.
Yeah, but it was good though. Like I felt really good afterwards. It was like, you know what? I thought about the things that I was grateful for, and I had to do some like, I didn't want to just be like, I know you spoke about like, oh, you could be grateful for your fingernails, you could be grateful for your nostril, your eyeball, whatever. But like I was just like, man, all right, let me go ahead and search and find these things that I'm grateful for outside of just my body, right? And it really helped put my day in focus. It made me it helped me be more, I guess, responsible for my time, and the way I was treating people,
I love that. It does make you a kinder person. And just so you know, you and your wife are doing good. The first few months or even the first year of practicing gratitude, it's not easy. You're not going to want to do it. I mean, first of all, I'm going to be very open about it. I have OCD. I grew up with severe OCD. So anything with habit and patterns, that's my jam. Like I will get in there and just like, that is what, I know that that's my superpower. And I think I mentioned it in another podcast, but thankfully, due to my OCD, I am able to transform things that didn't matter in my life, like checking the tap or checking that my bed is properly made 50 times. Instead of doing those things, I found, this practice, which allows me to use I don't even want to call it a sickness, but my
superpower.
Right, my superpower for good,
Right.
versus, I was going to say versus evil, but versus things that just don't serve any purpose, basically. So, yeah.
So how do you remove things that don't serve a purpose in your life, or people who don't serve a purpose in your life, because they can't be effective when you're practicing gratitude, right?
I don't believe in removing people out of my life. I just, I believe in putting people at a distance and letting them grow far off, especially if they're toxic and whatnot. But everyone has their own journey. And I've learned that probably through my gratitude is just, it's never about me. And, whatever they're going through, whatever if people are, of course I've had friends that are like, oh, that's not my thing. I'm not into gratitude. I'm not into, whatever you're into. And I'm like, cool. as if I'm into everything that everyone else is into, you know, that's not the case. But, you know, and I'm not right.
Yeah.
I know nothing, you know. What I do know is that I love my own practice, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
It just says a lot when someone is willing to be grateful for stuff. You know, like I think a lot of people who don't connect well with people are those who are not grateful for things. You know, I think we cause harm when we're not grateful and when we don't acknowledge, you know, the value of something. And so is that what a lot of gratitude is just seeing the value in something?
Yes, absolutely. And you'll often notice just, you know when someone is not appreciating you, or you do a really kind gesture and someone isn't in their soul, in their hearts, and just thanking you with all their heart. And they're just like, thank you, looking at their phone, or thank you looking up, you know, whatever it is, not just like checking and being like, thank you so much, you know. And then you just may not want to do that same favor for that person, because it's just like, well, they don't really appreciate me. So, but you know, I've learned to even go past that and just know that, well, these people that aren't saying thank you, or that aren't really feeling, they just don't know any better, really. They haven't been told to be grateful. They haven't been taught how to do it. And so, you know, I can't even really hold them responsible for that. It's just sort of like, how am I going to take it? How am I going to, you know, am I going to be offended because someone didn't properly say thank you to me? No, it doesn't matter. I did it because I wanted to, you know?
Yeah. I like that. And I was listening to a CD, a friend of mine, Jazz, he gave me the CD and it's called Face the Fear, or Face Your Fears, Face the Fear, or something like that. But you know, so she talks about giving and taking, right? And she says when people are givers, they should not expect to receive. You know, and if you get into a lifestyle of giving without expecting to receive, it would make you a more grateful person. What do you think about that?
I think no matter what, if you give with all your heart, you receive, not necessarily from the people that you give to. You will receive abundance in your life.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Come on,
matter.
poet. Come on, poet Maya. She over here dropping jewels. We get some love over here. Blake says, I love the perspective, just distance, not remove. New jewel facts. We have a question for you right now. I'm gonna let them ask this question for you. So how do you know? I guess it's how do you know when you find true love, and have you found yours? Ooh, good question. Oh.
So I can only speak for myself, obviously. And luckily I grew up with parents that have been together for 38 years. And they're the most wonderful example of, in my mind, what love looks like. You know, they're just very good to each other and very kind. And I think what I know is I've been in tumultuous relationships, and I've been in relationships where it's just never easy. And I think knowing that you found your partner is feeling this sense of deep ease. And I haven't invented that, but I've heard that. And for me, that resonates true. Feeling just this sense of deep ease. There's no roller coaster. And another word that I have is reliability. Can you rely on this person? There's so many stories of even girlfriends or guy friends that are just like, oh, she never called back. Oh, she didn't show up, and I'm just like, well, that's not love. Can you count on them? Can you know that no matter what, they're going to show up? Because that's what love is to me. It's just being for the present moment, and being, just reliable.
Yeah.
It's not very romantic. I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's good. Reliability is good.
Like, oh, you feel it in your heart, and you feel it. And you do. I think that's, that is part of it. Feeling it in your gut, feeling it in your soul. All of that should be there.
Yeah.
But I think more than that, it's just like, I want to know that my partner is there and I'm there for them. And it's just like ride or die. And,
Right.
you know, and best friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
And have I found that? Yes.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say nothing. I was going to wait for you to say something. But I was, I know, so we could bring up Todd now,
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm dropping names. My bad. So, not
No, please just
Whoa,
stop. I
okay.
think we're pretty open on social.
Y'all are pretty open. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
Maya, like,
yeah.
you can't just,
I'm
like,
madly in love.
you can't hide that guy. That guy is like huge. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
I
he's out
know.
there hitting people rugby and stuff, but that's crazy. But so since we're there, let's go there real quick.
Sure.
You and Todd went to Mexico. You guys had a good time, I suppose, right?
Yes.
So Todd is, I guess he's open to travel as well, which is cool. So like you didn't find someone that was like, nah, you know what, you go to Mexico, I'll just stay here.
No, he's super adventurous like
Yeah.
me. We love to travel, and we have that in common where he's lived in Japan and New Zealand and South Africa.
Yeah.
He lived all over the place. So that really helps. And I never thought I would end up with an American, but here I am. And he's legit Captain America. It's awesome.
Yeah. He was like lifting her up. He was doing like some lifts with her whole body. He picked her up from the ground and he put her over her head. He was like, I am Tarzan. You are Jane. I'm just playing.
He's very strong. He's very strong. Because I'm not that light. I mean, I didn't say like you're not, but I was I'm and he's 6'4", and I won't say his weight, but I'm pretty much half his weight still. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's
he's
awesome.
Incredible. Yeah. He's Superman.
Yeah. Well, Todd, we had to shout you out, brother. So shout out to Todd.
Oh, he'll love that. Well, now he'll have to watch it.
Yeah, now he has to watch it. My wife says very good stuff, Maya.
Oh, yay. She's beautiful. Was that a picture of her?
Yeah, that's
Oh, you're doing good.
Yeah, I do. Brother out here. I got a little something, But I got a little skill on me, I had to put the bait out. I'm just fine. All right. So Blake said,
lock it down.
But so Blake says, what does distance look like versus removing someone from your life? Good question. So like when we were talking about instead of removing them, you said you kind of like distance them. So what does that look like versus removing them from your life?
Good question. For me, it's really still being present and there for them, no matter what they're going through. I mean, some people, of course, suck the life out of you, and you have to sort of that's your boundaries, right? What boundaries are. You can allow them to, you can not respond to them. That's your prerogative. But just knowing that if that person is really in desperate need of you, is just knowing that you yourself can still show up for them and love them unconditionally versus being like, I hate this person. I don't ever want to talk to them again. They did this and that, and writing the list of things that they did wrong, and that serves no one, right? Just being able to just say like, okay, well, even if that person hurt your feelings, you're still human, and you can distance yourself from them. But removing someone from your life, to me, that's never just been my motto, I guess. And I'm a firm believer that people make mistakes, and I've made a million of them.
Right.
So how am I doing better than them?
Yeah. That's a very good response, Senator Maya Stojan.
Stop it.
Senator Maya Stojan. So what are your current projects? So I'll ask that question in a little bit. I don't want to ask that yet. We're going to ask that towards the end. So I'll get to that. Mr. Speller, I got you. My mother-in-law says yes. Okay. So
yeah, mother-in-law.
Yeah, mother-in-law. So you had a COVID birthday. I wanted to bounce back really quick. You had a COVID birthday, June 28th, right?
It's hard to remember, but yes.
Oh, I was like, no.
No, I did. What did I do? I have no idea.
Right.
Wow.
It's okay.
Am I supposed to know what I did? Oh, shikes. Todd's gonna get at me for this one. He probably
Lord.
Special, and I'm trying to think.
Oh Lord, I can't get you out of this one. We're live.
I'm totally blacking out. Maybe I was in Palm Desert. That
See,
sounds right.
y'all travel so much, like it's just like, where was I that day?
We'll blame it on that. We'll blame it on
Yeah.
that.
See, you have a good time every place you go. So it's just like it all collides together.
It really does. And I just really feel like COVID is just sort of every day sort of feels the same.
Right. Every day does feel the
but
same.
I don't know what day we are right now, for instance.
Yeah, I thought it was Tuesday, but it's Sunday.
No, I mean, the only reason you know that it's Sunday is because I listen to church every Sunday. So
yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So Lord, Maya, I told you I did this before. Now my computer, I didn't plug my computer up. So we're going to take a brief intermission. Oh, perfect intermission break. We're going to take a brief intermission and play this video. Oh, I'm so smooth with it. Let's get it. So I'm going to play this video. Then we're going to jump back into our discussion.
Yes, let's do it. Oh my gosh, isn't that hilarious? I'm wearing the same dress. I'll say that later.
Oh, in the same dress you were wearing on this?
No, in the photo.
In the photo. Oh no.
I have other clothes, people. I promise.
Lord Jesus. I'm sorry. I can't wait. I don't want to lose you.
Take your time. I'm not sure what you're doing. I don't even know if you're still live.
I am live. I am live. Okay. I had to plug up my laptop.
All
right, here we go. Let's get it.
Oh, Castle.
Priceless?
Castle, yeah, this is a throwback, right?
Stone of that size and quality.
I know.
It's the holy
Can you hear it?
Diamond manufacturing.
I can.
Most to be impossible until now.
So where did the Warners get it, and why are they denying its existence?
I don't know.
I think I know who wanted it and who attacked you boys. A diamond like that made in a lab, that would put diamond companies out of business.
You think it's the diamond industry who sent in the clowns?
With the future of their industry at stake, who knows how far they'd go.
Hey guys, we got a hit.
So CSU was able to pull a usable print?
Yeah, lucky for us, the lady wasn't big into washing her car.
When we ran the print, nothing popped in the federal database.
But given the international nature of the diamond industry,
So oh Lord, my volume's so high. So here we have Tori, who is actually Maya, right? So here we have Tori, who's actually Maya. So Maya, you're here right now in this role. I know that the volume is low on this YouTube version.
No.
Sorry, y'all. But I just wanted everyone to see you in action right here. So I know this was a while ago for you, but being on set, is different than watching a whole TV show. For us, I guess you're the one acting and we're watching you act. So like to us, you are the character and not just Maya Stojan. So how is it for you just being in character versus watching some TV show? Like what's the difference for you watching Castle when you weren't in it versus watching Castle when you were in it?
It's so, I mean, I've done better now at not being so self-critical on myself, but it's for sure when you're watching a TV show, when you're not in it, you're just, thinking about what's going on in the TV show. You're enjoying it, you're relaxed, you're whatever. And while you're watching yourself, you're like, oh, my hair, oh, that wasn't, yep, oh, nope, oh, that was fake. Nope, didn't do good. Oh, so it's hard not to be self-critical, but definitely, over the years, I've been less like, I can't watch, I can't do it. So yeah, and then some people love watching themselves and they're like,
so you're like, you don't like watching. I don't like watching myself either half the time. But
I don't hate it. I'll put it that way. I don't hate watching myself. I don't, I'm not going to go out of my way, but honestly, I watch myself more as a study. I just want to do better next time. Like that's mainly, I look at myself more as like, okay, well that, I get that. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't fully there. I'll analyze, but not just to be judgmental or self-critical. I'll sort of look into, okay, how can I better myself? You know?
That's really good. That's really good. So I do the same thing when I watch my podcast. I can barely stand my voice, but
what a great voice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But when I talk, it's more like that's what I sound. So I'm gonna play a little bit more, and then I wanted to make sure I got your. Oh wait, bam. Let's get this up there. I'm gonna play a little bit more, Maya, and then we'll get back into it.
Perfect.
It's a wider net in contact interval. Our mug is
I know it's hard to hear.
South African, to be exact. His name is Leo Wingard, in and out of half a dozen African prisons.
Leo
Not to mention he's on
Wingard.
the terror watch list.
Just the kind of guy a diamond cartel would hire for their dirty work.
Mm-hmm. I'll show him the picture. Look familiar?
That's Matt Lanchett.
Oh no,
That was his boyfriend.
that was his boyfriend. It was building up right there. I was like, oh no.
I just thought I could pick that clip. I've never seen that clip before.
Really? See, I
yeah.
got connections out here, Maya. Just to let you know, I got connections. Okay, so
There you go. Yeah, no, I have whole
I'm just playing.
other scene or demo things, and I was like, I don't know where they got that from.
Where was that?
There you go.
So Maya, you were just in Fatal Affair, right? And I told my wife when we talked about this, I was like, I don't want to talk much about Omar Epps. I don't want to talk much about Nia Long. But I think it's really dope that you were in a movie with both of them. So what was that like for you, just being, on set with them and being in a movie with them?
Amazing. I mean, it's always so good to work with seasoned actors. Just I feel like they make you look better because they're just so used to being there. I mean, it's like anything. If you, for instance, for me, it's golf. If I play golf with a really extraordinary player, I'm bound to play better than if I play with, someone that's a beginner or whatever. And so it's the same thing with acting. I think just being with seasoned actors or actors that have been around for so long and know just, how things work. It's incredible. And they happen to be really kind people and just very inclusive and they wanted me to do a good job, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've been watching Omar since like I was like really young. I think it was a movie a long time ago on VHS, like, VHS tapes, right? And it was a higher learning. It was like he was a college student somewhere. But that was the first time I seen him, and then I seen his hood side, in Juice. I don't know if you ever seen that, but that's
crazy.
Yeah, it's very thuggish. It's a thuggish movie. You don't want to watch that, Maya. It's thuggish.
I like a good thug.
Could you ever play a thug in a movie?
Sure. I mean, I've played more bad guys than good guys. I have a feeling. I've played a lot of just like,
Could I get like a thug like thing like hand me your wallet or something? Oh, see, there you go. That was like I might take your keys. So oh yeah, before I do this, I don't want Tatiana to get me. Tatiana says, when are you visiting Charlotte?
Oh, I love Charlotte, and I hope soon. I really love it there. It's beautiful. Lucky
that's where we are. Me and Tatiana are here. So whenever you get to Charlotte, you and Ty, we're going to all go out to grab some lunch or something.
That's awesome.
You're a treat. All right, so I'm just messing with you. So what is your favorite interview question, and what is your response to it?
My favorite interview question.
Or do you have one?
I don't know that I have one, but one that comes to mind is sort of like, how do you want to live your life? What type of person do you want to be? And, one thing that I think my parents installed in me and my sister is help one person a day. Be of service to at least one person a day. And if we all did that, the world would be a better place. And I can safely say that I have done that my whole life, waking up thinking, how can I be of service? And that's the way I want to live my life always. I just think of, and it doesn't have to be, the homeless and whatever. I do a lot of work with people living in homelessness, but it's even just being the best husband to your wife, waking up in the morning and be like, oh, you know what? I could just do my one thing by just bringing her coffee, brighting up her day, whatever that may be. But just being of service is so huge to me.
Yeah, that's very big, because a lot of people don't get to hear that because it's all about what you can get versus what you can give or do, so I hope that
much out of give, I think that's the joy of giving. People say, oh, there's no selfless act, because you do get joy out of seeing someone smiling, and and receiving. So I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off because I'm just.
No, you're good. I'm supposed to be the one listening, so you talk. If you need to cut me off, I talk a lot, so I
No,
can ask 5 questions in one. I'll be like, so Maya, tell me about a time when you, and then tell me about, and then you're like, all right, Alan, that was 5 questions. All right, so, but
great,
I
great.
love that though. Like, be of service to people. Go out there and help people. Like, that's what I wanted you on here for. I was like, I have to bring Maya on, and I don't want to just, oh, you're an actress, you're a producer, tell me about that. I wanted to get some real good jewels out of you because people need that. And a lot of times the very people we watch, they neglect to do that at times, to connect with us personal on a personable level. So that's why I have Maya Stojan here,
Oh my
because
God.
she has the words.
I
She's a
feel like I don't know. I mean,
She's like, I don't
I
know, maybe.
do my best. I do my best.
No, it's all good, because like when you have, even if your world's falling apart or whatever is happening in your day, when you have that heart of a servant, like when you want to serve people, I feel like somewhere in your day it's gonna get better, because that heart of a person to serve will find someone to serve. And then if you may need to be served, someone will find you and serve, just because you put out there, or just because you did it before, so what you sow you reap.
I think
So
it's also just as important to ask for help. We all think that we can do it alone, but
mhm.
we weren't meant to do it alone,
Yeah, you
It
aren't.
took a while to get that, but if you need help right now, if you're suffering, if you're struggling, you can make someone's day by asking for help.
Ooh. Go ahead, keep talking. No, that's good. Like, please, like, so, man, that's real good. You sound like Alan Levi Simmons, Maya. You sound like me.
Really?
Um,
I'll take
no,
that.
I feel I'm just fine, but no, I think that way as well. It's like, well, like we need to be out here caring about each other and serving each other. And I mean, you never know that someone could be out here looking to help someone. It reminds me when you said that. Like, I went uptown and like passed out Jimmy John's, right, to homeless people, and there were times when me and my wife will have like money or food, and we're looking for homeless people, and they're nowhere to be found, and we're just looking for somebody that says, hey, I need $1, or hey, I want some food. So but when you make up your mind in the day, like, I'm going to be grateful for my day, I'm going to be grateful for my life, and then it's like, well, let me help someone else have a great day. Let me help someone else do that, right?
For sure.
Cool. I just want to make sure I was on the same page. And
No,
we have,
absolutely.
yeah. So let me get here. And we have one question from the audience. Again, I'm going to ask that towards the end. We're almost done. We're at 48 minutes. Good God Almighty. We're at 48 minutes. All right. So, so I wanted to drop something for the young actors and actresses out there, aspiring actors and actresses out there, Maya. If you could go back to when you were 19 years old, right? If you could go back, when did you start? You started around
I started acting actually around 13.
13? Well, I want to talk to the 18-year-old, 19-year-old
Well, yeah,
Maya. Let's talk to her.
better.
Because so that girl, that Maya right there, if you could go back in time and tell her something like, that will help her, along her journey, what would you want to hear, or what would you tell her?
No one's gonna like this answer, but I would say patience.
Ooh.
Patience pays. Wait.
Hmm.
Let the hand of God work for you.
Come on, poet.
For sure. And I just never wanted to hear that. My mom would infuriate me by saying, "Well, you've got time, and you can make it whenever. Maybe you'll make it when you're 40." And I just wanted to just like, what?
Yeah.
And now I see, I'm 34. I just turned 34,
Yeah.
and I'm super proud of my age. Like, a lot of people don't say their age, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, because
Well, thank you for sharing that.
I do feel the wisdom that comes with growing older. And, even at 25, when I was still, not booking anything, not doing anything really that I was proud of. And I was just like, what's the point? And I was losing hope, and I just felt like, ugh, like I'm never going to make it if I haven't made it by now. But the thing is, it's just all these seeds that are being planted by good habits.
Mm-hmm.
They may take a million seeds before they sprout into this glorious flower or tree or whatever. And it's about keep planting the seeds, planting the seeds. And if you're there, you know, then it's bound to happen for you.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to say it. The
No,
people
that's
that
good.
give up, the people that don't follow through,
Mm-hmm.
and that give up too early because they don't have that patience,
Right.
then yeah, things won't, because everything comes with dedication, in my opinion, with putting yourself fully immersed in whatever it is you want to do. You got to give yourself your all. And that's what I would tell to the 18-year-old. You're doing everything right. Because I did. I threw myself into just working as hard as I could.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, people don't understand the work that comes behind acting. They just think that it's all fun and games, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And that's the same view for a lot of artists, painters, musicians, and all of that. But I think it's one of those things where working on your craft is everything.
Yeah. That's really good. I like that, Mike. See, you getting a lot of snaps out of me today. You getting a lot of snaps.
Yeah.
You getting a lot of snaps out of me today. You over here dropping some poems. So you're good on time, right? Oh yeah, I'm over here tripping. I'm looking at we're at like 9 minutes. I'm over here like we got 8 minutes left. All right, so we're still good.
Like, I'm having a great time.
Cool. All right, cool. I'm glad you're having a good time. I'm having a good time too. I'm getting a lot of wisdom.
Awesome.
That's so Maya, like there are people out here, right? And COVID's destroying lives and it's taking lives. It's hard to stay motivated and ambitious. I'm just speaking for self. It's hard to stay motivated and ambitious right now with a pandemic going on. What advice would you give to professionals out there who are striving, but they're still trying to survive, during COVID? What advice would you give to them on how to, I guess, stay a course?
Do what you can. I think that's, be the best every day. The best every day doesn't mean like just working all day and but your best might be that you're sick at home, you're struggling, you're super depressed. Your best might be to just go to your fridge and make dinner. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you can every day do your best, and if you can find even one thing to be thankful for, maybe that's just the fact that you have legs to walk over to the fridge, then that's enough.
Right.
I think we're all thinking that this time has to be more than it is, but this time is a time of transformation. And in transformation, we have to be in that cocoon before we can become a butterfly. We have to have those moments of just doing nothing and just sitting with ourselves and learning more, maybe learning about ourselves and acknowledging that, okay, being an actor is not all that I am. I am so much more than that. And by that, I don't mean I'm also a painter. I'm also a golfer. I mean, I'm so much more than just this essence of like, what can I achieve?
Right.
What, where's my Emmy at? Like whatever that might be. It's just, no, I have a purpose. I have a bigger purpose. What is that purpose for?
Yeah. What do you feel like your purpose is?
I really feel that so much of it is just to be happy and to be at peace, to be in the moment, to bring joy to others. I spent so much of my life being a workaholic, and especially now during this COVID has taught me that none of that matters. I've seen so many people just, pass away or struggle through depression, all of that. And oftentimes it's because we feel like we haven't realized our purpose. But what if our purpose is just being and being our true selves and being able to be of service because we take care of ourselves, because we're happy from within,
Right. Yeah. I like that. Like just being present, being happy, being like, you know, when I think about purpose, I told people one time I use this analogy. I hate touching this microphone, but it was with the screwdriver, right? But I'll use it with this pen really quick. So the pen serves a purpose, and the purpose is to inscribe, right? To write down. It does not erase. It cannot serve that purpose. This pen does not serve that purpose. But this pen can also serve other purposes, like we can prop open a door. We could protect ourselves, right? We could scratch our head, you
Yeah.
know? So like and what I tell people about that is just like with purpose, a lot of times people start putting themselves in a box like they're a shoe. Oh, like my purpose is to be a brand new shoe and inside of this box and to wait for somebody to find me, right? No, your purpose is to be, right? To be whatever it is that you can be at that moment, right? What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, you can have so many different but I think understanding your purpose is also understanding how you can, with that purpose, include others.
Yeah.
Not have it be all about what can I get? Like,
Right.
I want to be a famous movie star. Well, cool, but who's that going to help? I'm going to be a famous movie star because I want to be able to be a voice. I want to be able to, spread my knowledge about what I've learned through gratitude and how it can actually help with depression or whatever it may be, but just including others in your purpose.
Yeah. Man, so you just open up another door on this short time because you talked about gratitude and depression, and a brother over here has had his experience with depression. So man, I wanted to dive in there, but
We'll have to do another one.
Yeah, we'll have to do round. I'm gonna get Maya on again. We're gonna do that again because we can dive deeper into to actual gratitude and the real life stuff. I just wanted to really get Maya on here and pick her brain to get her introduced to my platform, to introduce my audience to her. And hopefully Maya will come back for part 2 on the Purpose Pod.
Thank you so much. I'm so thankful for being here. And yeah, thank you all to those of you who are listening, and hopefully we'll get more people on YouTube and Facebook. And I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you.
No problem. Hold on now. So we had Mr. Speller had that question for you. I wanted to get on there before we got off. He said, "What are your current projects?" I know someone mentioned The Promise. Promise. Yes.
The Promise. Okay, I'm super excited. It's going to be a World War II project, and it's going to be happening hopefully in January in DC. And I'm super excited about it. Just the script is beautiful. It's romantic, but it has that war vibe, and I got to wear the whole get up of World War II, which is super exciting. And so that's one of the projects. And then it's interesting right now, just not really being able to work on set, but it's slowly starting to open up. And I just had The Fatal Affair open up on Netflix. And then there's this other movie that's coming out called Senior Moment, which is super cute. So you should definitely watch it, with William Shatner and I'm blanking out, Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
So it should be a really cute rom-com. So yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you're on the move. You're not letting COVID stop you. And I think it's awesome that you guys were able to get that Netflix movie out, in the midst of all of this while people are at home.
Thank goodness. Yes, I know. It's all time, I think, for all industries, really. Other than the mask industry, they're crushing it. But
yeah. And then patience is a golden. Patience is golden. So Maya Stojan has been on the Purpose Pod. Maya, you have dropped a lot of wisdom, a lot of jewels. I hope that people will apply this to their life. Patience, please practice patience and gratitude, and servitude, whatever you want to say. So please practice serving others. Please practice being grateful for your life. And Maya, do you want to add on your last and final words for these people who are going into their week? Lord, Maya, what do you want to take with them? What do you want them to take with them going into this week?
Do whatever is right for you. Do whatever is right for you. Don't feel that because someone else is doing all this work that's what you're meant to be doing right now. Do whatever is right for you. If right now your time is to rest, to be in PJs, watch TV, do that. There's no right or wrong, and the person that's working, 24/7 is not necessarily achieving all those things that you may think they're achieving. It's just, I think that those are my final words. Do what's right for you. I'm not right. No one's right or wrong. There's none of that,
Do what's right for you. I like that. We're going to put that on the shirt too. Do what's right for you. But you guys make sure y'all follow Maya.Stojan on IG. Follow her on IG. She's traveling. She just does the life that I want to do, but I'm just too scared to live that kind of life in the wild with the tigers and lions and in the sharks and stuff. I can't do it, Maya. I can't do it. Sorry.
Well, you're crushing it, and I'm so glad that I got to meet you, and you have such wonderful energy, and
thank you.
I hope
that
your podcast just blows up. It's already blowing up.
It's blowing up. We're gonna blow up some more. We're gonna get out there. And then we're going to see Maya get her Grammys. We're going to see her get her. Is it the Grammys for actors?
Well, I could start singing.
The Grammys is for singing. What's the
I said Emmy.
The Emmy. That's what it is.
Maybe we're onto something.
You might be a singer. You're like, maybe you should take that route. Go in the country. Like, just go ahead and just live it up.
I just might.
Ladies and gentlemen, Maya Stojan. Maya, I will talk to you in a few. Okay. Thank you. All right. So y'all, that was Maya Stojan. She dropped some jewels on y'all today. She had me over here snapping my fingers on some Little John and East Side Boy. Snap your fingers. Yeah, so she was dropping the jewels. I hope you got some knowledge and wisdom from that. Please go practice. The best thing about what she said is stuff that you can practice. Oh my God, Alan. Phenomenal. So guys and gals out there, please subscribe to The Purpose Pod and follow Maya Stojan on Instagram and follow The Purpose Pod on Instagram. And you know what? Go have a great day today. This has been another episode of The Purpose Pod. I am your host, Alan Levi Simmons. Be blessed.